Hi, my name is Daphne Pariser, and I'm the CEO co-founder of Huron AI. Previously, I was the CEO of Humans for Education, and this is where I met Saahil. So when I was the CEO of Humans for Education, Saahil was introduced to me by a previous coach of mine, and Saahil and I worked together at Humans for Education for numerous years. And I have to say that out of all of the coaches that I've had, this has been a very different experience for me. I've had some fantastic, wonderful coaches, but having coaching from Sahil has been a different experience because there is a very methodical way that he goes about business coaching. And for me, this is something that is really helpful where I can have the ability to benchmark how our sessions are going, how things are going in my life, all those sorts of things. But the other part of this is Sahil's method is um, very pointed to helping you understand the underlying math of what's going on in yourself and your business. And this is why his book called Break Free and A Guide to Decluttering Your Life, I think is really, really helpful because this is the way that he approaches his actual sessions with you, where he wants to take a look at what are you struggling with? Where are these barriers that you're potentially coming across? And how are we able to remove these barriers so you can climb this mountain in a less stressful way? So when I started working with Sahil, there were a lot of things that I felt were barriers to what I was trying to do in my business, and things that I definitely felt were adding more weight rather than taking weight off and allowing me to climb this mountain easier. And so one thing was, certainly better understanding how do I want to have relationships with, my staff, my co-founder, my, general network, all those sorts of things, and making sure that these relationships aren't just transactional, but in fact having a way that can build stronger, more deep connections with people who really matter to me and who are also going to help with where I'm at in life and where I want to go. I think one of the other pieces that was super helpful for me is thinking a lot about where do I want to put my focus? Because as a CEO, there's literally hundreds of things, thousands of things maybe that are thrown at you on a daily basis. And really taking it some time to think through what is necessary for, getting things done with business, but also what's necessary for me to feel like I can be as present as possible. How can I spend time with myself, with my friends, doing activities that I enjoy so that I am the most present person that I possibly can be during my business day and then also during sessions. So I really felt like not only was I able to find more time in my day, but also have a better focus on what is actually really important for me and what's really going to move the needle. I think one of the other pieces that I really enjoy about his style is there is a very big focus on not just getting to the goals of your business, right? Like, obviously, for me, my business is super important, and I always want to find better, more efficient ways to get things done. But he really looks at you as a holistic person. He really takes the time to understand who you are, what your needs are, helps you identify those pieces. So that way you can be more productive. So I feel like when him and I first started working, we identified pieces that bring me a lot of joy, that make me feel really happy, that make me, feel very centered. And this ended up being that I ended up having a lot more excitement and energy around my work. I now like run typically 3 to 5K most days. And I just feel like a very different person than I did when we started working together. I think the other part of that too is because I feel less constraints around my general life, I feel like there's a lot more space for me to be a lot more loving, happy, and have more acceptance around general work and life and things along those lines. And this is really important for me because when there are very large problems at work, I want to show up as somebody who can help work through the problem rather than create a larger one. And I feel like the work that I've been doing with Saahil has really helped me uh, tackle problems from the perspective of love and joy and acceptance versus, potentially coming out of anger or, trying to really not help to identify the problem. So I think at the end of the day, learning how to declutter things, learning how to focus on what's helpful for me and what's really important really kind of changed the way that I think about life and that I think about my general day-to-day work. And so at the end of it, really, I feel like I walked away with better focus, with better relationships, higher energy, more time, and just definitely a lot more love, joy, and acceptance. And that's something to me that is absolutely worth every single penny and so much more. And I couldn't be more grateful to Sahil, and I couldn't recommend him more highly than I do. So thank you so much, Sahil, and I really appreciate everything that we've done together.